everybody. I used to have a greenhouse. Here it is. It lasted about a week. Ugh! I'll tell you about it in a little bit. So, as you know, I have been saving milk cartons for an extremely long time at school. And now you will get to see the purpose of all the milk cartons that I have saved, and this is just a teeny portion of them because all of these are getting planted with different variety of sunflowers today, and I'm so excited. I have been waiting for May 1st to come because I knew that that's the perfect day to get my first succession planting of sunflowers in the books, because I can plant them at nice, sturdy, healthy plants that the birds won't peck the seed out of the ground and all of that stuff right from the get-go at the first weekend in June. So I'm extremely excited for today. I've had it organized in my list and my packet of seeds already, which I'll show you shortly. And so what I'm doing right now is I am waiting for my soil delivery, which is probably walking up my driveway right now. Andrew's coming with the soil in the wheelbarrow, and I'm gonna wet it down and start filling these cups. So I will come back to you once I have all of these cartons filled. It's windy. It's very, very windy. I had to come inside. I couldn't take it anymore. I got the containers filled and I was like, I'm doing this inside. Plus, seeds don't like to go into freezing cold dirt. So I had to come inside and let this dirt warm up a bit. So, yeah, my hands were like frozen. So, anyway, move the operation inside. Let's plant some sunflowers. I have got 151 containers here for my sunflowers. And so I have a packet of 500 seeds here. These are ProCut Orange. They are your typical cut flower sunflower. They're not too big, but they're definitely not small. They're basically the type of sunflower that everybody thinks of when you think of sunflower. They're that beautiful yellowy orange color and the big brown center, and they're gorgeous. I have the most of these, so I'm going to be planting 55 of these today. This is going to be succession plant 1 of 9. Yes, you heard that right. 9. I am going to do this 9 times over the next 9 weeks because I want sunflowers all summer long. I do not want sunflowers just in September. I want to be able to start cutting sunflowers right around the 4th of July, and these are the ones that I'm going to be able to do that with. So I have to be very careful because sunflowers can be a bit delicate in their early weeks. However, doing it this way saves me from a lot of other things that also curb strong, big, healthy sunflowers. One, if you direct seed all of your sunflowers, you're going to lose half of them to chipmunks, squirrels, birds, you name it. All those cute little adorable critters are going to come and dig your seeds up out of the ground. Then once they start coming up, then you're going to get rabbits eating your seedlings. And then once they start getting even taller and start maybe even forming heads, that's when the deer like to come and eat your sunflowers. So at least me getting this good for no more than 5 weeks start on the sunflowers, I'm going to be able to, I would say, save most of these from an untimely early death from many other obstacles. I'll be able to control the temperature that they're in and control the wind. Speaking of wind, I told you I don't have a greenhouse right now. Well, I do, but I don't. This morning I got up and I was fertilizing plants. I fertilize on Fridays, and I did do a lot of fertilizing yesterday, all the flowers and seedlings or whatever that are in the house, but there was a whole bunch out in the greenhouse, and I was really tired yesterday, so I was like, I'll just do those first thing in the morning. And that's exactly what I was doing, but it rained and rained and rained all day yesterday, so when I went to the greenhouse this morning, it was really damp in there. And we all know, yeah, damp and humid is good for plants, but not too much. And it was really damp in there. The sun wasn't really shining yet, and it wasn't windy at all. So I was like, well, I'm going to open the door and roll it up so that way some little breezes and it can just kind of air out in here. And I knew that it was going to be in the 50s today with sun, so I thought that it would warm up in there nicely and dry things up, and then I would be able to fertilize them this afternoon. Well, that was a good plan in thought. I really need to start checking the Weather Channel a little bit closer, because I didn't know that it was going to be like basically hurricane force winds today, okay? I know I'm exaggerating a little bit, but those windy gusts out there are terrible. And so we remember that the bandstand in Sherman, for those of you who don't live around here, in Sherman, Maine, they have a really great hot dog bandstand that they open up every Saturday in the spring and summer months and some of the fall months. And they're famous for their delicious grilled hot dogs with grilled onions, and it's so, so yummy. And I was like, we gotta go to Sherman. Let's go to Sherman. Let's go get some hot dogs. And my son wanted to go fishing, so he went fishing with his friends. And we went to Sherman and we got some hot dogs, and we, ran a couple little errands, and then we came back home to find my greenhouse that I left the door open in the other person's yard. So of course I fly out of the truck. I don't even shut the door. I don't know. I just run to my seedlings. Some of them, they were pretty windblown. I will say that. They were pretty windblown. A couple of things had knocked over. Trays of seedlings had knocked over. But all in all, after taking 15 minutes and panicking and having a little fit and crying a little bit, there wasn't much damage to anything, not even the greenhouse. I don't know how. I learned a lesson, but thank you, Jesus, for looking out for me, because really, you saw that the frame to the greenhouse didn't even get bent or beat up. We put it back together, and it looks just fine and straight and sturdy again, and the cover doesn't have any rips or anything that we have seen yet. So, as soon as this wind goes away, we're going to put that back on, and we are going to be much more careful about checking the wind and not leaving doors open, so that way it turns into a big parachute and gets thrown across my yard. So, but now it got me thinking, if the door was closed, the wind, it would have been fighting the wind even more, and then potentially bending the frame of the greenhouse even more. So I'm kind of torn, oh, maybe it was a good thing that I had the door open, or maybe it was a really bad thing. I don't know, but somehow I got away with it. Okay, and I am so thankful for that. I really am. I lost a few things, but nothing that I didn't have many succession plans of, and I wasn't really heartbroken over the things that I lost anyway, because I kind of already half killed them. I had planted some plants, and I was using an aluminum tray, and I didn't know that aluminum is poisonous to plants. So when I'm bottom watering the flowers in the aluminum tray, they're sucking up aluminum poisonous water, and it's slowly killing the plants. And it dawned on me that maybe it's the tray that I'm using, and I switched them out of the tray and I put them in something else, and I looked it up on Google, and yeah, don't use aluminum trays. And so anywho, uh, and they did start coming back to life, but they still looked really like blah. And so those are actually the ones that got destroyed. And well, I'm not really fretting over that too much. So, because I've kind of swallowed the idea that I lost those weeks ago. So, anyway, now that my Wizard of Oz story of the day is over with and we made it through no problem, I have 150 sunflowers that I need to get planting. So, I have 500 of the Pro Cut Orange. I also have 250 of these beautiful, they're called Sunfill Purple. What they actually look like when they bloom, I don't know if you've ever looked at a sunflower from behind, but they have all of those beautiful green and purple leaves, and then in front of those is usually the orange. And well, this is a different, look it up, it's called Sunfill Purple, single stem sunflower. And it looks like the back of a sunflower without the stem, but it has a center. It's beautiful. So I cannot wait to have these right beginning of July to go with these. And I have lots of other ones. I have white sunflowers that I'm going to plant today. I have some, let's see, these are called Strawberry Lemonade. So they're in like the orangey reds, but not fall looking. But I am going to plant some of the Autumn Beauty, even though I don't want autumn. But I do love the deep brown and burgundies, even in early summer, because they just go so well with so many of the things I have in my mind when I start making these bouquets. So I'm really excited for that. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these seeds sowed in the dirt, and then I will get back to you soon. Right, so I'm done. That wasn't so bad. Well, I'm done with sunflowers. I'm not done planting. Let me let you know what we're doing next. All right, so I got all of these planted. It took about, I don't know, about 30 minutes or so to get them all planted. The hardest part is that I'm putting a black seed in black soil. And if I take my eyes off of the cup that I'm on, accidentally, because, you know, I have to get one if the one's fighting me to come out of my hand or whatever, then I gotta search and be like, oh no, where did I leave off? And I gotta look for a black seed on black soil, and it's not easy. So that's the most frustrating part about this. Some of these over here, these Autumn Beauty ones, I made it more difficult for myself on purpose, because when I dumped the seed packet into my hand, there was light colored ones and then there was really, really dark black ones. And in my mind, I'm thinking, the dark black ones are probably those really dark, rich burgundy, deep red sunflowers. So of course, I went and planted all of those. It made my life really hard because they were wicked small too. So I'm not done. This was just sunflowers. What I have to do next is I have to do a second succession planting of, well, let me come on over here. Because these you can actually see some pictures. I have to do another planting of calendula, aka Gerber daisies, which I love. Opal basil, gorgeous. More dahlias. I have the big giant dahlias and then the more like regular sized dahlias. More cosmos. This doesn't have a picture, but this is called Nigella. It's gorgeous. I already showed you dahlias. I'm going to be planting some coleus. And then I'm going to be planting some pumpkins. And more cabbage. And more watermelons. And cucumbers I haven't started yet, so those are starting today. Actually, the watermelon. Yeah, I do have some watermelon already started. Spinach. Cukes. Ooh, more zinnia. And you're going to think I'm crazy because I've already planted these, like I can't even count how many times. But more snapdragons. I'm hopelessly in love with snapdragons. I just am. I love them. I love growing them. There's something about them. They're so cute and they're so hardy. And I actually am enjoying pinching them because do I have one right handy? I want to show you what a pinched snapdragon looks like. Right here, hang on. Where's my beautiful? No, not you. No, not you. Where's the right thing of snapdragons? Are they over here? I've lost track of my stuff because I've had to move it around so much. Okay, so here is one example. This isn't even the best example. They're probably in there. But anyway, see, you can see where I pinched it. And then look what happened. I got 2 more branches. And then down there, I didn't even have those. But see, now because I pinched the top, the plant is now saying, branch out, branch out. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 branches instead of just 1. So that's the fun of pinching snapdragons. And I'm going to plant another whole tray because I figure it's May 1st now that I will, because they like the cold. So these snapdragons that I sow today, I will still be cutting even well after we get a frost because they can handle frost, which is great. They actually thrive in cooler temperatures. I know that come the end of July, they're going to slow down on the flowering and they're just kind of going to go a little dormant for me for a little while. But then as soon as the temperatures start going down into like the 70s in the day and the 50s and 40s at night again towards the end of August and into September, they're going to be happy, happy, happy. So yeah, I am going to plant another whole entire tray of snaps. All right, I still have a lot of work to do. So talk to you later. Bye. Bandstand hot dogs got me in a tizzy.